Hello, this is section 4.6. Use formulas to solve various types of problems. And here we have example 1. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we're wanting to solve for y, right? Because we wanted to say y equals mx plus b. So let's go ahead and get that 2x to the other side. Okay, so we want to do a minus 2x to both sides. And on the left, I am left with a minus 5y. And on the right, it does matter in this case whether I put the 10 or the negative 2x first. Kind of look like a z, so I wanted to rewrite it. There we go. Because it is in y equals mx plus b, so I need to put the x first. So minus 2x and then a positive 10, so plus 10. Now, to get that y by itself, I have to divide every single piece, every single term by that negative 5. Okay, so I have y equals, so negative 2 over negative 5 is just a positive 2/5 x. I know it looks like that x is up top, and mathematically it would be correct. But as far as being in slope-intercept form, when we graph, it's nice to see that slope out by itself separated from the x. Okay, so the m is your slope. We want that out front. And then a 10 over negative 5 would be a minus 2. And that's it. All right, the next one. So remember, we're trying to get y equals mx plus b. So we want only the y to stay on the left here. Whoops. Don't want that. There we go. So what do we have to get rid of? We have to get rid of both the 2x and that negative 8. Okay, if you can do it all at the same time, that is totally fine. I don't want to lose anybody, so I'm going to break it apart into 2 different steps. Okay, so I'm going to do a minus 2x. So I have a 4y minus 8 equals negative 2x. And then add that 8. So I have 4y equals negative 2x plus 8. Not quite done yet. To get that y by itself, so I'm going to divide every single term by 4. So I have y equals a negative 2 over 4 can be reduced down to a negative 1/2. And that's x. Plus 8 over 4 can be reduced down to 2. All right, this is the last one of this type. So I want you to go ahead and hit pause and give this one a try. Come back when you're ready. All right, so how'd you do? I got y equals a negative 3 over 7 times x minus 5 over 7. Okay, so again, it really is important to have that x come first because that helps us find out what our slope is. And then at the end here, if you put a plus and negative, technically that would be correct. I'd be okay with that, but it's nice visually to just see the one sign in between, okay? Moving along to example 2. So this one, we're going to kind of do 2 problems side by side. And what we have here is one with context and one without. Okay, so the The one without context is on the right. It just says solve A equals LW for W. That's a little bit hard to think of if you aren't quite sure what they want. So it helps a little bit to put some context to it. So we're going to do the context one first about the garden, and then we'll take a look at that one. Okay, so we have this garden with an area of 630 square feet. The length is 28 feet. Find the width. Okay, for me, I like to draw a picture a lot. If you don't need it, though, don't worry about it. So the area, that's what's on the inside, right? That's the 630 square feet. And then the length, so I'll just put it in here, 28 feet. And they want us to find the width. So to get the area, it's the length times width, right? So I'm going to put A equals LW. Now let's fill in what we know. Do we know what the area is? Yeah, that's 630, right? So 630 equals, do we know the length? Yep, that's 28. Do we know the width? Nope, that's what they told us to find. So we have 630 equals 28W. Get that W by itself. And we get 22.5 feet equals W. Okay, so we had the area equals length times width. Essentially, we had to find that width, so we ended up dividing both sides by that length, right? Okay. So now over here, solve A equals LW for W. Okay, so we have A equals L. I'm going to put the W in red so we can remember what we're trying to solve. So I have to get that W by itself. You know what? Let's even highlight it too. That's what I'm trying to get by itself. So what do I need to do to get it by itself? That L is attached to it, right? The L is attached to it by multiplication. So I do the opposite. I just divide both sides by L to get that W by itself. And my final answer is A over L equals W. So just like on the left, we had our area equals length times width. We ended up dividing both sides by the length. Well, that's going to be the case for every single time, is what they're saying over here on the right with the A over L equals W. Okay, next, we have the fence around the garden now. So that's the perimeter, and it is 100 feet. The length is 37.5 feet. Find the width. And then on the right, solve P equals 2L plus 2W for W. Okay, so that formula there, if you don't know that P equals 2L plus 2W, that's your perimeter formula. So if you need that to solve the one on the left, go ahead and use that. Okay, so go ahead and hit pause and come back when you're ready. Let's see how you do. Go ahead and try both of these. Okay, so far I just wrote down my formula. Perimeter equals 2L plus 2W. Plugged in the perimeter I knew was 100, and I plugged in the length. Okay, so if you didn't quite get this far, go ahead and hit pause again. If you did get this far, keep watching. All right, so from where we stopped last time, got 100 equals, I did the 2 times 37.5 for 75 plus 2W, subtracted the 75, divided by 2, and got 12.5 feet is the width. Now over to this side, solving for W. So again, I'm going to put it in a different color so we can really focus on what we're looking at here. Okay, so the first thing we don't want to get rid of that 2 that's attached to the W first, right? It's just like in all of our other regular equations, we get rid of the other stuff first. So that other stuff would be that 2L. So we're going to go ahead and subtract 2L from both sides. When we do that, we have P minus 2L equals 2W. Okay, so we just subtracted the 2L from both sides. Now we have to get that W by itself, and there's a 2 attached to it. So that's by multiplication. So we should just divide both sides by 2, right? And you can do the entire side. You don't have to do each term. Although if you did do each term, I would also accept that as an answer. Okay, so I'm expecting to see this. P minus 2L over 2 equals W. But if you wanted to take it further, or if you wanted to divide each term by that 2, you would be showing me a P over 2 minus an L equaling a W. And I would also accept that. It's totally fine. Okay? Next, we have example 4 here. So we have solve the Fahrenheit Celsius model C equals 5/9 times the quantity F minus 32 for F. Then once we do that, we're going to convert 10 degrees Celsius to the equivalent Fahrenheit temperature. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this. C equals 5/9. And I'm going to put that F in red so we remember what we're doing. Okay, we're trying to get that guy by itself. So we want to work from the outside in. So outside of those parentheses is that 5/9. So how do we get rid of 5/9? I don't know if you remember this. We've done it before, though. I'm just going to do some side work here. Is 5/9. We can multiply by the reciprocal, right? Because that 9 over 9 would be 1. 5 over 5 would be 1. It would go away. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's multiply. I'm going to squeeze it in. Both sides by 9/5. Okay, so now what I have, I'm going to go ahead and cross those out. We have 9/5 C equals that F minus 32. So now what do I need to do to get that F all by itself? Has that minus 32, so we're just going to add 32 to both sides. So I have 9/5 C plus 32 equals F. Okay, and you can leave it like that. That is the final answer. To me, it looks kind of weird that way. I don't know, I just feel like I would feel better if it was like this. F equals 9/5 C plus 32. Just personal opinion, that looks better to me. Okay, so either one of those will work. So we did the first part. We solved for F. Now, let's go ahead and plug in that 10. Okay, so go ahead and try it. You'll probably want to do 10 over 1, though, so that it cancels out that fraction, okay? All right, so put in that 10. 10 over 5 was 2. Got 18 plus 32, which is 50. So when it is 10 degrees Celsius, it is equivalent to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, very cool. This is our last one, okay? Last one for today. So we have an ATM fee of $2.40 in 2011, and it's going to be increasing approximately $0.14, so 14 cents per year. We're going to let F be the average fee in dollars at T years since 2011. So I want you to do 3 things. I want you to first find the linear model, which is the equation, right? 2, I want you to solve for t. And 3, I want you to predict when the fee is $3. Okay, so go ahead and hit pause, give that a try, come back when you're ready. All right, so the very first thing is to find that linear model. So I have the linear model, F, so the fee equals the initial fee of that $2.40 plus, because it said it was increasing by 14 cents for every year. So 14 cents times the year. Okay, so now the next part is to solve for t. So if you did not do that yet, if you didn't get this far, go ahead and hit pause again and solve for t. If you did get this far and you kept going, keep watching. All right, so I subtracted the 2.40 from both sides and then divided both sides by 0.14. Okay, and I would just stop right there for solving for t. Technically, I'll put it off to the side just in case if anybody did it. I want you to know that it's okay. So this would be okay if you'd got this minus, let me punch this into my calculator real quick. If that's what you ended up getting, that would be okay. It might be just a teensy bit off because to get that 0.14 with the 17, I did have to round a tiny bit. So it might be off just a little bit. So I would prefer this one here since we had to do the rounding. Okay, so I'm going to erase that. And what was the last thing we had to do? Oh, predict when the fee is $3. So do I put in the 3 for F or for T? I'm going to go in for F, right? So you go ahead and try that. So put in 3 for F and solve for T. So hit pause, come back when you're ready. All right, so I plugged in the 3. I got 0.6 divided by 0.14, which was approximately 4.29. So I said that's about 4 years from the 2011, because I think I said from 2011, right? Let me double check. Yeah, 2 years since 2011. So I just did 4 plus the 2011 to get that the average fee will be $3 in the year 2015. All right, that wraps up today. I hope you have an amazing day.